Yes, greetings, Africans. Greetings, everyone, where you are. My name is Kwame Gonza. I'm right live on Africa Reimagined, and greetings to my sister, Malit, who is right now doing a presentation on Connect Africa. What we have come to talk about today is the issue of the death of Wagner, or the alleged death of the boss of Wagner, or the CEO and founder of Wagner, Mr. Prigozhin. Your Wagner, Prigozhin. Yes, I'm learning to speak Russians. He's called Wagner Prigozhin. Of course, famously known as Prigozhin. News is coming to us that he is dead. And I first heard this from BBC. And of course, because they are always sensationalist, I decided to go and get it from the real source, and that is RT News of Russia. It was important that I should get the news from the real source in Russia so that we can be able to understand what really happened. And actually, in Russia also, they are saying that he is dead. BBC was saying a while ago that Prigozhin died in a helicopter crash. But what is coming from Russia, from RT News, the source, it is saying that he died in a private jet crash through a plane called Embraer. It is called Embraer. I think, let me have a chance, if I can get a chance. If you look at the news, what they are saying here, they are saying that he died through uh, an accident. Prigozhin was scheduled to fly on the Embraer Legacy jet that crashed with no survivors. Authorities have reported it because they are saying these are authorities are the ones who have reported. The head of the Wagner private military company, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was listed among the passengers scheduled to fly on a private jet which crashed on Wednesday in Russia's Tver region. The country's Federal Air Transport Agency has confirmed. This is the country's Federal Air Transport Agency has confirmed. It is the one which has confirmed. Actually, it is not more a rumor, because this one I'm reading from RT News. The Embraer plane he was flying on was flying out to St. Petersburg. There was 3 crew and 7 passengers on board. They all died. That is unofficial told test. The crash happened near the village of Kuzennikno in the northern Tver region. Some Russian outlets have identified the plane as an Embraer Legacy 600. We will look at this plane which they are talking about, that it is possibly it is the one which has crashed and led to the death of Mr. Prigozhin. So that is the news which we are receiving from Russia today, RT News, or Russia Today. You can call it Russia Today. This is the news which we are receiving right now. But we will look at also examination of what are the implications of Prigozhin's death, and of course, especially in Africa, because we have seen that Prigozhin and his Wagner forces are majorly involved in the African continent. In Niger, we have seen recently they came in there to help Niger to stabilize the country. They have been helping in Mali to stabilize the country. They have been invited also in Burkina Faso to stabilize the country. So we want to understand what are the implications in case he's dead. What could be the implications of his death towards the security situation on the African continent? But before that, let us go in and see the plane he was traveling on, how it looks like, this Embraer jet, because Embraer is a company out of Brazil, is specifically a company out of Brazil, which manufactures these private jets. And actually, in one of my conversations I was having with my colleagues, I was suggesting that when Africa is talking about, engaging the external partners or friends in these summits, we can talk of the US Africa Summit, we can talk of the Russia Africa Summit. One of the areas which we want to engage with these partners is in the advanced technologies like like manufacturing of aircraft. If you look at Brazil is already manufacturing aircraft. Russia is already manufacturing aircraft. China is already manufacturing its own aircraft, Comac. Russia has the superjets, Sukhoi superjets, MC-21. So it is already manufacturing. These are the things I think that we need to engage these partners on, we as Africans, if we want to benefit from these relationships going forward. If we are talking about even BRICS, India today, when Prime Minister Modi was speaking, also presented the ideas that, we should set up a train research, network, so that we all the BRICS countries can be in Africa, could tap into these kind of technologies, aircraft manufacturing, automobile. India has also been there. So I think these are the technologies which we need to bring on the African continent, manufacturing of batteries, which President Cyril Ramaphosa also has spoken about. So we want to see the aircraft which Mr. Prigozhin was traveling in before they are announcing that he is presumed dead. This is the aircraft which he was traveling on. This is an Embraer jet, the famous Embraer jet, which they were talking about today, that he was traveling on before he got the accident and presumably died. The aircraft, it is a carrier of, is a private jet, like I said, made in Brazil, and it carries about 10 to 14 passengers on board. And they're saying that it was 10 people who died on this particular jet, which he was on before he died. So this is how the jet looks like. This is how the jet that Prigozhin was traveling on looks like. If you want to see it very well, I want to bring up a couple of more pictures so that we can have it. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so this is how the aircraft he was traveling on looks like. That is the uh, Embraer's Legacy. It is the Legacy, Embraer Legacy 600. It is called the Embraer Legacy 600. This is the private jet that Prigozhin, the boss of Wagner, was traveling on before they got a crash in Russia when he was traveling from Moscow going to St. Petersburg, and the jet crashed. This is how the aircraft looks inside, that Prigozhin was traveling on with a couple of his colleagues, and they were traveling from Moscow going all the way to St. Petersburg. This is the aircraft Embraer Legacy 600 that he was traveling on before the accident. Before the accident happened, and he is presumed to be dead with all the people who were present on the aircraft. Now, what we want to examine and look at also is, of course, many people will be asking questions. What is the cause of his death? What could be the cause of his death? It looks like this is an untimely death. And we remember that a few moments ago, he had some friction with President Putin, whereby the Wagner chief was marching onto, was marching onto Moscow with his troops coming from the battlefield, and many people thought that he was going to carry out a coup in Russia. So many people will be suspecting, of course, that possibly maybe President Putin may have a hand in there, which I don't want to speculate right now. We want to first watch and see what is happening in the situation. It could be outsiders, of course. It could be because President Putin is in this situation also, whereby there's a lot of sanctions on him, and he was supposed even to attend the summit the BRICS summit in Russia that he was not able to attend. So it could be that there's a situation whereby they are trying to set up President Putin. I'm not saying that President Putin cannot participate in this kind of enterprise, but we want to first watch the situation and understand really what is happening at this moment. It could be an accident in itself, that it was an accident. It could be something else. So we want to first wait in speculating who could be the possible culprit or could be the possible reason, what could be the possible reason, and who could be responsible for this particular death of Mr. Prigozhin in this situation. But we want also to understand what could be the implications for the African continent, and especially the African people, and in areas or sectors where Mr. Prigozhin has his troops, and they have been, providing security and trying to stabilize areas like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger right now, situations where the United States and France and the Europeans failed for the last 10 years, and people have become dissatisfied with their approach. So there is, I think, two situations here which we can see that could happen. And I want to start with the most possible scenario, if I may say. The first most possible scenario which you can talk of is that Wagner may continue to do its work, and new people may be, appointed by the government in Russia to lead this organization, because it has been, representing, of course, on one side Russia as a private military, or company. It has been representing Russia in one way or another, whether you like it or not. So it is possible that the government in Russia could appoint a group of people to manage the work which has been going on, of which Prigozhin has been doing, and the work could continue all, across everywhere where it has been engaged, whether it is in Syria, whether it is in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So that is one scenario which you can expect that could happen, and this is what I would lean in on, most on as the most possible scenario that could happen, or could be the outcome of this situation that is happening right now, with the fact that they are saying that it is possible that Mr. Prigozhin may have died. Now, the second scenario that we could think of also is that it is possible that it may be dissolved, and his troops may be recalled if Russia doesn't want to continue with the fact that Wagner was operating in these different regions. But if you remember, Wagner has really been very helpful to Russia, on the side of Russia. So it is unlikely that Russia would want to disband Wagner. But that is another scenario that is possible in this situation, that it is possible that Russia may decide to recall if there's no one able to handle the operations of what Wagner has been doing. But like we mentioned, Wagner has been very helpful in Syria. It has been very helpful in the Sahel right now, in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger right now. And even a few days ago, a couple of, I think it was even yesterday, a video was circulating around the internet where we were seeing Prigozhin was present in the Sahel region of the African continent. So it is possible that Russia may want this situation to go on like that, and to sustain the Wagner, or the Russian military itself may take over the management of the process, the processes of Wagner, and how they have been run from day to day, considering the presence of Mr. Prigozhin. So I want to thank you very much for supporting the channel. All those who are subscribed to the channel, those ones who are just coming in to watch, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate for your support, and go out there and support our channel called Connect Africa and the work which we are doing. Also support connecttoafrica.org, which is a website where we write all the things that we are engaged in. We publish articles about Africa. We want to appreciate you once again, and I want to extend my thanks to you, myself, And I appreciate you so much for everything that you have done for this channel and whatever you have done for Connect Africa. Go out there, look for Connect Africa, the channel. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Kwame Gonza, and I appreciate your support that you are giving to my channel. Thank you so much. And share. Don't forget to share the channel so that we can spread the message out there, the Pan-African message. We should make Pan-Africanism a mainstream idea. That is what we are fighting to do. Thank you so much for all those who have supported me. Blessings and unity for Africa. Thank you so much.